Cuse Countdown Webisode Edition will be previewing Syracuse and Boston College on Sunday afternoon. But first, let me introduce ourselves. I'm Michael Barth, Michael Tricarico, Christian DeGuzman. Before we get into Boston College, though, big win, 85-72 win over Florida State. Guys, what stood out to you the most in this crucial ACC victory against FSU?
For me, it was the huge second half that SU had. Best all-around half we've seen from the Syracuse team. More importantly, DeGuzman Coleman stepping up 6 quick points in the second half really got the crowd going. The players really wanted the crowd into it. It was a quiet crowd, a smaller crowd, a Thursday night game with a lot of snow coming down, but DeGuzman Coleman got into it, scored a couple early points the second half, and everyone on the team was getting the crowd pumped up, and I think that really helped.
The person who had a great game for Syracuse was Tyler Lydon. Pretty quiet on the night, but he did have 15 points and 10 rebounds. And when Syracuse scores, and when Tyler Lydon scores double digits, Syracuse is 11-1. Figured that out earlier today, and it's amazing the effect that Tyler Lydon has on this team. But Syracuse can't get sloppy. They had 20 turnovers in this game, and that's not going to cut it against other teams.
Well, big win over Florida State, but looking ahead to Boston College, let's take a look at the last 5 games for the Eagles. Pretty darn tough, if I may say so. They may be 0-11 in the ACC, but if you asked any coach in the conference to do what BC has done and play these 5 games in a row at number 2 UNC, at number 9 Virginia, at number 19 Louisville, then go home, play North Carolina once again, and to top it all off, welcome Syracuse to Chestnut Hill. No one in their right mind would even attempt to recreate that 5-game stretch. Come Sunday, you have to wonder what the Eagles have left in the tank after such a brutal schedule. They did put up a great fight against USC. Syracuse shouldn't be taking this team lightly. And now, Michael Tricarico, X factor for the game against Boston College.
Well, it has to be Boston College's offense. They haven't scored more than 65 points in ACC play. I mean, we look at their 5-game stretch. The 7 games before it weren't any better because they're 0-11 in conference play. 4 games Boston College has scored in the 40s in conference play, including 40 points, which is a season low against Syracuse. If Boston College can't score, I don't think they will. Syracuse's defense is a bit too strong, but if BC can't score, this one is going to be a blowout.
Well, BC's also going to have to focus on rebounding, and that's my X factor for this game. Dennis Clifford is their leading rebounder, and he's averaging 4 rebounds a game. When your top rebounder is averaging 4 rebounds a game, you're not going to get it done against the top teams in the ACC. DeGuzman Coleman, Tyler Roberson, Tyler Lydon, chances for big games from these 3. If they can get the rebounds necessary for Syracuse, it's not going to be fun for BC.
You have to assume that the ball's just going to find your hand 4 times, right? I mean, 4 rebounds. I could just say, we could all sit out there.
We probably could, yeah.
I don't know about that. That's why we're behind the camera, not on the court. Christian, sticking with you, though. Give me your prediction for SU-BC on Sunday.
I have Syracuse winning, probably not by as much as people think, only 72-60. I feel like, yes, BC hasn't scored all that much, but it's only 60 points that BC should be able to score. 40 points against Syracuse in the Carrier Dome was an absolute disaster, but the big men will get it done for Syracuse. Look for another big game from DeGuzman Coleman as he did have against Florida State. I think Syracuse will win this, but maybe not as convincingly as people think.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm with the what people think. I'm taking Syracuse in a blowout in this one. I mean, they won by 22 points at home in a game where the offense really wasn't that strong. It was a quiet 20-point win. I have 75-53 in this one. I think the Syracuse offense is going to erupt again. 9 days off between the Virginia Tech and Florida State game. The SU is rested. You could sit a lot of players against Florida State. You didn't have to play those 40 minutes for the Benejays and the Coonies and the Richardsons. They're rested. They're going to come out firing. They know that this is an important game. Even though it's Boston College, it's still important as far as building that tournament resume, building that record up, and becoming a legit tournament contender that can really make a run come NCAA tourney time.
Wouldn't expect anything less from Michael Tricarico. But there you have it, our analysts. Syracuse keeps the momentum going, gets the win Sunday, 1 o'clock against Boston College. Michael Barth, Michael Tricarico, Christian DeGuzman, thanks for watching.